Good morning, students. Welcome to your physics class. Today we will discuss about our next chapter, that is laws of motion. So before starting our chapter, firstly we study about a part, that is about contact and non-contact force. But before starting this, firstly we have to know about this term. This is force. So students, tell me, what do you know about force? What is force? Yes, force, it is simply push or pull. That means if we apply force on any object, then it will move, or it can be at rest, then it is force. For example, if we apply a force on the ball, if the ball is already at rest, then it will change into motion. But if the ball is already in motion, then after applying force it will come into rest. So this is the effect of force. So what are the different effect of force? There are two different effect of force. First one is it can change the state of rest or of motion of the body. That means if we apply force on any object, if the object is in the rest, then it will change into motion, and if the object is already in the motion, then it will be changed into rest. This is the first effect of force. After then, second effect is it can change the size or shape of the body. For example, on pressing a piece of rubber, its shape changes. That means when we apply force on the piece of rubber, that means we can pull or push the rubber, then it will change its shape. So these are the two effects of force. Now we study about the kind of force. There are two different type of forces. First one is contact force. So what do you mean by contact force? By its name, it is clear that contact means there will be a relation between two objects or two bodies. So what is the definition of this contact force? The force which are applied on the bodies by making a physical contact with them. That means there should be a physical contact between these bodies. For example, frictional force, collision between two bodies. These are the example of contact force. So next is non-contact force. This is the opposite of contact force. What is the definition? The force experienced by the bodies even without being physical touch. That means there is no physical touch between different bodies. For example, gravitational force and magnetic force. So these are the two different kind of forces. After then, our next topic is laws of motion. There are different kinds of laws of motion. Our first law is Newton's first law of motion and inertia. These laws are very important according to the exam point of view. So our first law is Newton's first law of motion. So what is Newton's first law of motion? According to the Newton's first law of motion, if a body is in the state of rest, it will remain in the state of rest. And if it is in the state of motion, then it will moving in the same direction unless an external force is applied on it. So what do you understand by this Newton's first law of motion? That means if the object is at rest, then it will remain at rest. And if the object is in motion, then it will remain in motion unless we apply any force on it. Example, a cycle remain moving so long the force is applied on its pedal, and if we stop pushing the pedal, the cycle stop. Here we taking example of cycle. We use bicycle for moving somewhere. So when we are moving a cycle with the help of pedal, that means we are applying force on it, then it will in motion. So if we apply force it to stop it, then it will stop. Otherwise it doesn't stop. Okay. After then, our next term is inertia. What do you mean by inertia? It is the property of an object by virtue of which it tends to retain its state of rest or of motion. It is same as Newton's first law of motion. That means this is a property of object. That means it cannot change its position that in rest or in motion without any force. It doesn't change its property. This is known as inertia. Now, there is a relation between mass and inertia. What is the relation? The greater is the mass, the greater is the inertia of the body. That means there is a direct relation. If the mass is greater, then inertia also greater. That means the lighter body having less inertia and the heavier body having large inertia. So it is difficult to move a heavy object as compared to the lighter object. There is another example also. It is difficult to set a loaded trolley in motion than an unloaded trolley. So this is example of inertia. Now, inertia also is of two types. First one is inertia of rest. Second one is inertia of motion. So firstly we discuss about inertia of rest. What do you mean by inertia of rest? Yes, if a body is at rest, it will remain at rest unless an external force is applied. That means if we are taking example of any object, suppose it is at rest, then it will remain at rest unless an external force is applied. So here we are taking example, on shaking the branches of tree, the fruits fall down. Why fruits fall down? Yes, let's discuss about it. Whenever we are shaking the branches of tree, then the branches will come in motion. But the fruits are massive part of the tree. That's why when the branches come in motion, the fruits doesn't come in motion. Due to inertia, the fruits get detached from the branches and they will fall down. Clear about? Now, next, second is inertia of motion. Yes, what do you mean by inertia of motion? A body is in the state of motion, continue to be in the state of motion unless an external force is applied. That means if any object is in the motion, it continue to be in the motion unless an external force is applied. For example, a cyclist riding along a level road does not come to rest immediately after he stops pedaling. That means if any person is moving with the help of cycle, he doesn't come to rest immediately. It takes some time. That means if we apply force on the bicycle, then the bicycle come to rest after some time as a result of friction between the tire of bicycle and the ground. Without any force, it doesn't come into motion. Okay. So students, our next topic is linear momentum and the Newton's second law of motion. So firstly we will discuss about linear momentum of the body. Linear momentum of the body is the product of mass and velocity. Linear momentum is denoted by P, mass is denoted by M, and velocity is denoted by V. So this is the relation between linear momentum. Linear momentum is equal to mass into velocity, and this linear momentum is vector quantity. That means it tells us its magnitude as well as its direction. Now, rate of change of momentum. What do you mean by rate of change of momentum? It is equal to mass into acceleration. So what do you mean by acceleration? Acceleration is equal to final velocity minus initial velocity divided by time taken. So students, now come to our next topic, that is Newton's second law of motion. This is also very important topic. So according to this law, the rate of change of momentum is directly proportional to the force applied on it, and change in momentum take place. So according to the Newton's second law of motion is equal to F is equal to ma. Here F is force, m is mass, and a is acceleration. Now we will study about its units. Unit SI system. Firstly we will discuss about SI system of this Newton's second law of motion. That means force. What is the unit of force? Newton. Is equal to, what is the unit of mass? kg. What is the unit of acceleration? Meter second minus 2. Now CGS unit. Unit of force is dyne. Unit of mass is gram. Unit of acceleration is centimeter second minus 2. So here we will discuss about SI system and CGS system. Both units are given here. Now if we find relation between Newton and dyne, now compare these units. 1 Newton is equal to 1 kg into 1 meter, S minus 2, that means second minus 2. Now convert this SI unit into CGS. Convert kg into gram. 1 kg is equal to 1000 gram. So put here 1000 gram. Multiply 1 meter, second minus 2. 1 meter change into 100 centimeter. So put here 100 centimeter, second minus 2. Now here 1000 is given, that means 10 is to power 3. 100 is given, that means 10 is to power 2. So in mathematics you also solve this. Whenever base is same, then we add its powers. So here 10 is to power 3 multiply 10 is to power 2, it will change into 10 is to power 5 gram into centimeter second minus 2. So this gram into centimeter second square is equal to dyne. So we put here 10 is to power 5 dyne. So this is the relation between Newton and dyne. 1 Newton is equal to 10 is to power 5 dyne. This is also very important to exam point of view. Example of Newton's second law of motion. While catching a ball, the cricketer withdraws his hand along with the ball. This is the example of Newton's second law of motion. Now our last topic is about Newton's third law of motion. What do you mean by Newton's third law of motion? Yes, to every action there is always an equal and opposite reaction. That means when we are doing something, then there will be a equal and opposite reaction also. This is known as Newton's third law of motion. So what is the example of Newton's third law of motion? A book on the table, pushing a wall, catching a ball. So firstly we will discuss first example, a book on the table. If we are putting any book on the table, then a book applying force on the table. This is the action of force. This action is done by book. And when we put a book on the table, the table also doing that. This table also giving a force on the book, and this force is in the upward direction. The force applied by the table on the book is known as reaction, and a book applying force on the table is action. So there are two different type of force. First force is applied by the book, this is known as action, and second force is applied by the table, this is known as reaction. So this is Newton's third law of motion. So students, here up to we discuss about different Newton's law of motion, first law, second law and third law. These laws are very important. So up to this we have to complete here. Thank you.